Hey guys, look at us. It's been a while. Y'all remember me? My name is Nina. I'm super dope. I sell lashes. I run this YouTube channel called Nina's Random Corner. I'm on Facebook as Nina Lewis. I have a podcast that you can find on Anchor. You can find on Google Podcasts called Nina's Random Corner. I love God. I'm about spreading the gospel. I think I can rap a little bit, but I don't practice it too much. And I like to chase a lot of squirrels, meaning I just jump all over the place. Is that it? That's it. Hi. I had to reintroduce myself because it's been a while. How are you? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Y'all like my orange hair? Even if you don't like it, don't worry about it. I'm about to turn 40, y'all. This is my 40 hair. So, anyways, let me focus. It's been a while, and let me explain to you why. Okay. First thing first, I am on a mission to spread the word of God to as many people who are listening and not listening as possible. So I have toyed around with a plethora of different platforms, and I have found that podcast works great for me because it's a quick on the go. It doesn't require so much visual. And I feel like YouTube requires me to set up the lighting and I got to have the right time and the area got to be quiet. And it just requires, so it's not that you are not important. I love my YouTube family, but it's kind of like I'm cooking. I'm making a meal. Stay with it, right? And I got a number of dishes that are all relevant to my overall outcome. YouTube is a dish that I have picked that requires too much attention for the meal that I'm preparing. So I am going to lessen my YouTube time. So you will only see me once to twice a month. However, I will post daily, sometimes twice on my podcast. So make sure that you stay here, get an overall, and then come over and visit the podcast so we can meet and greet in between. Good, good, great. I love it. Let me get right into the message today, okay? Because I got some good meat for y'all. I had so much meat that God has blessed me with that I didn't even know where to start. So I prayed about it, and I was led to study Deuteronomy. All right, Deuteronomy 32. So in your Bible, when you get the time, I challenge you to look up these verses. Why? I'm not going to sit and read it because if you've ever looked at 32, 32 is a lot. But again, you know how I do it. I am going to give you what I took from 32, feed you a little bit. Well, I'm going to put it on your plate. And you decide which part you want to dive into, or if you want to go cook your own recipe, you can find the instructions in Deuteronomy 32. All right, let's get into this conversation. First of all, you have to understand that this Song of Moses was created because people were doing what they wanted to do. They was living amok in the world. Do you hear me? Does sound familiar? Sound familiar? They was out here doing whatever they wanted to do. It was so much gray area that we don't even know what's truth anymore. And Moses came to say, let me remind you of who God is and why there is no other God that can stand up to him. And then if you choose to serve a lesser God, that's on you, but understand and know who you are refusing. So basically, stop giving God's clout to people in things and other gods that don't deserve it, that ain't earned it. So when I went through this, let me break down to you all in my paraphrases what I took from this because this is really good. And I challenge you to read it, to understand it, to seek that wisdom and that understanding for yourself so that you can get some meat from it. We 4 minutes in the video, we doing good. Stay with it. Okay. So when it first started out, Moses said, "Listen, this is not me sitting here talking to you. So I beseech that to you as well. I'm not the one sitting here talking to you, even though you hear my voice. I seek my words and my knowledge from the heavens. So I ask the heavens to speak into my ears and come out of my mouth. And that's what Moses said. Listen, you hear me, but this is the Lord speaking to you. Okay. Then he said, in 2, he started talking about let my teaching drop as the rain and let my speech distill as the dew. All right. So many of you walk around calling the Bible and the church a lie and all of these other things. But then I ask you, are you sitting around trying to take in everything that somebody says, or have you prayed to God to let your ears fall upon what is needed? Because distill mean extract the essential meanings or most important aspects of. So when you are having people come to you and you are seeing these Bible verses in church services, are you distilled? Are you taking the distill? Are you extracting what you need from it? Right? Because that may be why you're not understanding it. All right. So then we got to verses 5 and 6, and they started talking about God is asking you, do you not remember who I am? Right? All of y'all want to walk around talking about the universe and how you good and all you this and that. You must have forgot when you said, oh, God, help me. You gonna tell me never in your life you ain't never called on God? You have never called on God? You've never called on God. I'm just asking. And then I'm saying, do you really believe that everything that you've overcome, you did it alone? That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. But I want y'all to stop believing that you overcame that sickness, that you was able to pay that bill, that you didn't get hit by that car that just sped past because you just stopped. Quit giving your guardian angel your oh, my grandma must have been on my side. That was God. Give him his clout. Give him his honor, right? So then we got down to 7. It said, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Too many of y'all do not give respect to your elders. You don't respect them. And they don't respect me. They can't nobody tell you nothing. Y'all so stubborn, can't nobody tell you nothing. But your greatest lesson, some of your things that you've been wanting to know, is in the hearts of your elders. It's in the wisdom of your elders. And you need to ask them and let them give you the information. Y'all ready for this? But then ask God and let him reveal it to you how it applies to your life. See, y'all stop somewhere. Some of us only take half of it. We speak to some people, but then we don't go back and ask God, or we discredit everything everybody else saying and we just want to keep on praying. But God said, I answered you. You just didn't listen to the person I sent to answer the question for you because you're stubborn at heart, right? So then when we got down to 12, I know this is some good meat, y'all, right? Good meat. We got down to 12, and God said it was God alone, not a foreign God. So for all of y'all that want to sit around and manifest and sage and all those other things, and you believe that the ancestors are bringing it in, baby, and can't nothing move and can't nobody do nothing without the power of God. So how's your ancestors getting power? If you say you get your power from your ancestors, where do they get their power? Because everything has a source they have to tap in. Let's move on. When we get to 13 and 15, they talked about you were blessed and forgot where your blessings came from. You forgot. So when you started boasting about how you made it through 2020, y'all with me? How you pulled it through and paid them bills, you must have forgot that you ain't that great. You ain't that great. Only God can pull those type of things. So then when we got to 19, God said, and then the Lord saw it and he spurned them out. This means he rejected them. So when God was sitting back and he looking at all this stuff that you saying, you taking pride in everything. He don't own no ownership. It's all you. God look at that in disdain like anybody would. Anybody would. You help somebody out. You help them. Help them. And when they got done, they was like, whoa, I did it. That wouldn't discomfort you as it does God, right? And God said, you know what? I'm gonna release my hand off of you and I'm gonna sit back and I'm just gonna watch what the world do to you. And you are wasted away with hunger because it's some of us that are always seeking knowledge. We just want to know why people act like this. I don't understand. Now, you can act like you don't care, but everybody has a hunger in them, and that hunger would never be fulfilled because you turned your back on God. Understand what I'm saying? He also said that you're going to be devoured by pestilence and bitter destruction, right? So I had to look up what pestilent meant, and pestilent meant a contagious or infection epidemic disease that is virulent and devastating, especially something that is destructive or pernicious. So I had to look up what's pernicious. And pernicious said having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. So we have a whole disease pandemic that's out here, right? And then we also have um, subliminally charged meetings. Does that make sense? Like subliminally charged meetings. Mindsets. Like your mind is so corrupt with all the stuff that you've been told. Church is bad, and religion is bad, and the Bible is corrupted, and the black man this, and the white man that. Your mind is so jacked up that can't nothing even penetrate it. So you are slowly dying because you're being ate up. You don't even have your own thoughts anymore, and you don't even realize it, right? So then it says, it talked about how the sword shall destroy the outside, and then there will be terror within. So the further away you get away from God, right? The further you distance yourself from the word, from that food, from that source, the more uneasiness you have on the inside. So if you have your days of peace and then you have some days where you just like, my God, right? Ask yourself, what are you feeding, or and how far away from you are God? Because my last two sections that I have wrote here was number one, and I say this again, I can't express it enough. It wasn't the universe. It was God. Do not forget who buttered your bread. Okay? Basically, who gave you bread when you didn't have it. Because at the end of the day, for any of you that say, girl, I don't believe in all that, and that ain't real, and that's huplash, and blah, 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 answer me this, because this was the text in 29, right? If you so wise, then why you don't see the destructive path in your latter end of what things are going to be? You see things not getting any better. You see our world slowly turning for the worse. You see everything that was said. What happened is happening. But you still don't want to reign true. I ask you guys to soften your heart and heart. I ask you to get into your word and start seeking understanding and wisdom for yourself, because it is going to be easy for the enemy to get in. It's going to be easy for you to have that wedge and to keep that distance with God if you are not communing with him, if you're not talking with him, if you are not seeking understanding from him. Y'all, that was good, good, good. It was Deuteronomy 32. It was the songs of Moses. You need to understand that it's God, but God. It's not you. It's not your sage. Some of y'all keep saying that y'all done manifested, and so y'all waiting on y'all superpowers. Keep on waiting. Keep on waiting. Right? I love you all. And I hope this was a good time for you. Right? Share this. I'll see you guys back here in a few days. What we got, like maybe 2 weeks or so, and we'll come back and we'll talk again, right? Share this. Follow me on Facebook, Nina Lewis. Follow me on my podcast, Nina's Random Corner, and share this to someone that may need it. I think I said that, but it's so important, right? I love you all, and I will see you on our next video.